I know what you're thinking. Daddy longlegs are those weird little things in the corner with legs that look too long for their own body. And if you heard the same story most people heard growing up, you probably think they are secretly one of the most venomous spiders in the world. The only reason they do not hurt people, apparently, is because their fangs are too tiny to pierce our skin. It sounds terrifying. It also sounds like something one kid made up at school, and somehow the whole world just agreed to keep repeating. Because the truth is much stranger. Some daddy longlegs are not even spiders. Some have no venom at all. And the ones that are spiders may be sitting in your basement, garage, bathroom, or ceiling corner, doing something far more useful than you realize. They may be catching flies. They may be clearing up small pests. And in some cases, they may even go after spiders that are much more worrying than they are. So before you sweep them away, spray them, or grab the nearest shoe, here are 6 reasons to never kill daddy longlegs, because you may have misjudged them your entire life. Number 1, the deadliest spider story is a myth. This is the rumor that gave daddy longlegs their scary reputation. People say they are the most venomous spiders in the world, but their fangs are too small to bite humans. And it sounds just believable enough to stick. A tiny, harmless-looking creature with secret nightmare venom? Of course, people remembered that, but the story falls apart as soon as you look closer. First, not every creature called a daddy longlegs is even the same animal. Second, some of them are not spiders at all. And third, the ones that are spiders are not the deadly little assassins people made them out to be. That means the whole most venomous spider claim is not just exaggerated. It is basically playground horror dressed up as a fact. For years, people have been killing daddy longlegs because they thought they were dealing with a hidden danger. But most of the fear comes from the story, not the animal. And that is important because once you stop seeing them as tiny death machines with bad equipment, you can finally ask the better question. What are they actually doing there? Number 2, some daddy longlegs are not even spiders. This is where the whole story gets confusing, because when people say daddy longlegs, they are not always talking about the same creature. Sometimes they mean the skinny spider in the corner of the ceiling, but other times they mean the little outdoor creature you see in the garden on tree bark, or walking through grass like a tiny black pea on stilts. That one is usually a harvestman. And here's the twist. A harvestman is not a true spider. It is an arachnid. So it is related to spiders, scorpions, and mites, but it is not the same thing as the web-building spider in your basement. A spider usually has a body that looks like it has 2 main parts. A harvestman looks more like one little round body with 8 very long legs attached. Basically, a walking dot with confidence. And this matters because harvestmen do not have the scary equipment people imagine. They do not make webs. They do not have venom glands. They do not have venomous fangs. So when someone says daddy longlegs are dangerously venomous, they may be talking about a creature that does not even have venom in the first place. That is how mixed up this myth has become. People took one nickname, gave it to more than one animal, added a terrifying story, and somehow daddy longlegs became guilty before anyone checked what they actually were. So before you kill one, the first question is not, is this deadly? The first question is, which daddy longlegs am I even looking at? Number 3, harvestmen are harmless cleanup crews for your garden. Now let's talk about the outdoor daddy longlegs, the harvestmen. This is the one you might see in the garden, on a fence, near plants, in leaf litter, or wobbling around on long legs like it has borrowed them from a much taller animal. And despite the creepy look, harvestmen are not out there plotting anything. They are more like tiny garden cleaners. They feed on bits of decaying plant material, fungi, dead insects, insect eggs, and other small organic scraps that build up around soil, leaves, and damp outdoor spaces. Not glamorous work, but useful. They help break things down. They help clean up little messes in the garden. And they are part of the reason outdoor ecosystems do not just turn into a pile of rotting leftovers. So if you see harvestmen around your yard, it does not automatically mean something is wrong. It may actually mean your garden has enough life, moisture, shelter, and food sources to support little cleanup creatures like them. And remember, this is the daddy longlegs that does not make webs, does not have venom glands, and does not have venomous fangs. So killing it because you heard it was secretly deadly is like accusing the gardener of being the burglar. Wrong creature, wrong crime, wrong ending. Most harvestmen are just moving through the garden, cleaning up tiny scraps, avoiding predators, and trying not to be noticed by something bigger. Unfortunately for them, those long legs make them very noticeable. But strange does not mean dangerous. Sometimes strange is just nature's way of sending in the cleanup crew with 8 ridiculous legs. Number 4, cellar spiders are real spiders, but they are not out to hurt you. Now we move from the garden to the house. Because the other creature people call daddy long legs is usually the cellar spider. This is the one you might find in a basement, garage, bathroom, cupboard, ceiling corner, or that one messy corner of the house everyone pretends not to notice. Unlike a harvestman, this one actually is a spider. It has a separated body. It makes a web. It has fangs. And yes, it has venom, which sounds like the myth is about to come true, but it still does not. Because having venom does not automatically mean something is dangerous to people. A bee has venom. An ant can sting. Even plenty of tiny creatures have tools they use on prey, but that does not mean they are built to take on a human. Cellar spider venom is mainly for small insects and other tiny creatures it can catch in its web. You are not what it is hunting. You are not dinner. You are not even interesting to it, except as a giant moving disaster that might destroy its web. That is why cellar spiders usually just sit in corners, hanging upside down, looking awkward and fragile, like they are waiting for someone to ask them to leave. They are not chasing you around the room. They are not planning an attack from the ceiling. They are usually just sitting there, hoping insects wander into their web. So yes, they may look creepy. And yes, the web in the corner might need cleaning, but the spider itself is not the villain people made it out to be. Most of the danger is in the story, not in the daddy long legs. Number 5, they hunt pests you would rather not have in your home. This is where cellar spiders become more useful than people expect, because while you're looking at that messy web in the corner thinking, that needs to go, the spider may be thinking, this is my workplace. Cellar spiders feed on small insects that wander into their webs. Flies, mosquitoes, moths, ants, tiny crawling insects, and sometimes other spiders. They are not chewing through your walls. They are not getting into your pantry. They are not ruining your clothes. They are mostly hanging upside down in a corner, waiting for something much more annoying to make a mistake. And yes, their webs can look messy. Nobody looks at a dusty cellar spider web and thinks, beautiful interior design. But the web is not there for decoration. It is a trap, a very ugly, very useful little trap. The funny thing is, people often remove the spider because it looks creepy, then later complain about the flies, mosquitoes, moths, or little insects showing up around the same area. The spider was not the worst thing in the room. It may have been the thing catching the worst things in the room. So before you wipe every daddy long legs web out of a basement, garage, laundry, or shed, it is worth asking what that web has already caught. Because sometimes the creature sitting in the corner is not the pest problem. It is the unpaid pest control. Why we call them daddy long legs. Before we finish, there is one little detail most people never stop to ask. Why are they called daddy long legs in the first place? And the honest answer is the name has been used in different places for different long-legged creatures, which is part of the reason the whole myth became so confusing. In some places, people use daddy long legs for harvestmen. In other places, they use it for cellar spiders. And in some countries, people even use similar names for long-legged flying insects that are not spiders at all. So when someone says daddy long legs are dangerous, the first problem is simple. Which daddy long legs are they even talking about? That one nickname has been passed around so much that several completely different creatures ended up sharing the same creepy reputation. And that is how a harmless garden cleanup crew and a fragile little corner spider both got dragged into one of the most repeated bug myths in the world. So the next time you see one, remember this. It may look strange. It may look too leggy for comfort, and it may still make you want to take one careful step backwards, but it probably is not the deadly little monster people said it was. It might be a harmless recycler in your garden. It might be a spider catching pests in your basement, or it might just be another misunderstood creature with a terrible public relations problem. So before you sweep it away, spray it, or panic because of a story you heard years ago, take 1 second to look again, because daddy long legs have not been hiding a deadly secret from you. People have just been telling the wrong story about them. And if this video changed the way you see daddy long legs, hit the like button. Tell me in the comments if you believed the venom myth. And subscribe for more strange creatures people fear, kill, or chase away before they understand what they are really doing.